So here's the start of the show, the Cattail bowstring. Looks like I got an ice socket. Today we're going for a brand new fire set from the land, and if I take my hand and roll it, it feels fibrous and strong. This is late winter, so I see a potential bowstring. Looks like I got a fireboard. Welcome to another episode of For You to Survive. Today, this fire is going to be started by the Cattail leaf and stock bowstring. It's always good to reverse wrap it, then kind of tighten it some more. That way, it's even stronger. So, there's been some struggles to make this video, but it worked out in the end. And I'm very happy with it. Thank you to my subscribers and enjoy the video. I carved my fireboard. I got a little starter hole in there already. Well, that was fun. Are not really connected to a stock, but they seem promising. You can kind of prep them by rolling them on my finger a little bit and getting whatever usable fibers come out. So let's see what we got. If it's weak, throw it out. This one's in the snow. We'll pull it out. Just kind of roll it. Well, that one feels pretty strong. Try this one. Nope. That one feels promising. I think we got something to work with here. Any parts that fall off, you don't want them anyway. Here's some fibers that I can twist into a bowstring. The reverse wrap style, away and toward. That has the makings of a bowstring. And if I take my hand and roll it, it feels fibrous and strong. This is late winter, so I see a potential bowstring. Here's a cattail stock. Let's see if it can give me some fibers. I'm going to slowly bend it, breaking the little segments up. There we go. We'll go as low as we can get. Pull it up. Bending the fibers. Bending the stock, actually, because I want the stock to bend. Now I'll rip off the outer leaves. All right. See how far this goes up. That's okay, because we're going to use that later. So in here, there's some fibers. And it's important to kind of loosen them up, work them out, peel off the outer stuff, the outer leaves that don't help us. The cattail stock provides some fibers. Once I remove some of the leaves and kind of break it in half, I can split it out, but this part is surprisingly strong. So I use this part of the stock also to get my bowstring made. And you'd be surprised. So it was cattail leaves and cattail stock parts used. Easy to prize cattail leaves. They have the convex on one side and a little flat on the other, but these are actually really strong. If I could only pick these, I would, but it's limited today, so I got to use what I have. All right, I gathered some fibers, plenty of cattail leaves. The cattail leaves have some strength, even this time of year. It's nice if they're a little on the damp side, which is great because they grow in damp areas, but this gives me the potential to make a bowstring with them. I'm going to tie them into an overhand knot. That'll get me started. Then I separate them. I twist away, and then I twist them toward. Pinch the new side. Twist away, and toward. Pinch the new side. Twist away, and come toward. Pinch the new area. Twist away, and toward. And repeat till we get all the way down. I want to make it even stronger to begin with, so let me take some fibers here and I'm going to put them inside where the knot is. So now I have a bunch of fibers on one side, a bunch of fibers on the other side, so it's more beefy. So I continue the same style as before, twisting away, twisting towards, pinch the new end. Twist away, bring it towards, pinch the new side. And I like that when I pinch them, I pinch it in line with the way the fibers are going. So that makes it easier to twist. Some people hold it in different spots, but I find it keeping my thumbs in line with the way the fibers are going. My thumb and fourth pincher finger. That makes it a whole lot better. Away and towards. Pinch in the middle where they crossed. Away and towards. And I'll keep it up. Just going to keep adding fibers as needed. Starting to get long. Things are coming together. I'm going to finish this off with an overhand knot. Once I kind of taper the fibers down, the fibers kind of taper out. Now the leaves closer to the base of the stalks tend to be the best because they're a little bit more flexible and damp, but those special leaves that have that convex side and it flattens out, those are particularly strong. So if I could only use those, that's all I would use, but I'm limited here today, so again, I'm using what I have. I'm going to tie this into an overhand knot to finish it off so it doesn't unravel on me. Alright, and that finishes the bowstring. It's a decent size. Going to dress it up, pull off the little leaf parts that are stuck. They're sticking out, but that's all right. It's sticking up. I'll twist it off, or I twist a whole string itself, and that allows this little piece to come off. It's kind of a nice little system. If they break off, they break off, but sometimes they're strong and you really have to twist them off. If I'm lucky, I can take the easy way out and get some ice. Looks like I got an ice socket. Since we're here, let's take advantage of the water. I have this ice that's kind of slushy, I'll rub it on the bowstring to keep it more limber and flexible. I could also put this bowstring in the water, and that also makes the bowstring more flexible and keeps it from getting too dry and breaking easy. So those are two options. Now you want to keep your hands from getting too cold, so it's time to dry off these hands. Probably wave them in the air a little bit, rub them together, but we're off to a great start. String. And there. I'm using everything I have, and this keeps my hand warm. See if I can get a fireboard. Looks like I got a fireboard. Here's a white cedar, and I see some opportunity here. That's pretty long. I'm able to get these long strips off, and that sure looks like binding for a twig bundle. That should do the thing. That should get it done. Plus I have these fibers to burn later once I ignite some cattail fluff. Wow, that dead spruce looks like a making of a good twig bundle. And this ought to work for my purposes. Time to tie it up. I'm going to use a clove hitch. Actually, I'm going to use a reef knot. That's all I need. Got to be careful with the bark because it's strong but fragile enough. So there's my twig bundle. I got to get some birch bark. All right, time to make this happen. Here's the socket. This ought to fit the hand pretty nice. Put the extra pieces over here. I could use a rock, I could use the heat of my thumb, but just for the sake of safety and ease, I'm going to use a screwdriver here. Put a little divot in the ice. Sometimes I peck it with a stick, but warm it up with the thumb. The heat of the thumb can make it nice. Okay, I think that'll work. Divots don't have to be too deep to be effective. Check out the bowstring, the star of the show. We'll keep it moist and flexible, just like the willow bowstring. If I have a willow bowstring and it dries out, it might not be performing as well as it did whenever it had some moisture in it when I first made it. So that's something to consider. I'm going to do the, I have an overhand knot in the bowstring. I'm going to do another overhand knot. That's how I'm going to attach it to the fork. My knot video shows how I do this in a more easy to follow way, but that shouldn't be too hard to follow. Wrap it once, wrap it twice, let the spindle bend a little bit. I'm going to use hand tension for this one because you just can't take chances with a bowstring made out of cattail fibers because, well, it's not the strongest bowstring, but it can work. So I got my Fireboard starter hole here. I'm going to go for it. I want to rewrap this. have a little notch at the end of the bow. I want this double wrapped because that's going to put less tension on the bowstring, and in this case that's vital. Can't be in a hurry with this. Here's my eye socket. There's the divot. I want a little more tension on that bowstring. Just a little bit more. Now for the burn-in. I'm going to angle my fire set a little bit because my spindle when I drill, because I don't want the drips of water to fall onto my fireboard. That's a good burn-in. Set this over here. Protect my spindle. I have some birch bark. I'll put that powder on it. Time to carve my notch. My hands are a little wet, so I got to be careful with that. I need to just stay calm and take my time. It's significant because I burned in a spindle and I burned in a fireboard. It's nice to have a spindle that's already burned in. That saves you time and effort, but, well, I had to make a fire set today because that's how I roll. I didn't want to take a shortcut on that one, because I think that'll better prove how good a cattail bowstring is. Because, in my opinion, I think that a bowstring should be able to burn in a hole in a fireboard, and then you make your notch, and then you drill for the ember. So I think that's a legitimate way to determine if a bowstring is actually up to the job or not. That's a criteria I like. Now, I don't necessarily mind if I use a spindle that I burned in already, but today we're going for a brand new fire set from the land today. I got all this stuff from the land today. Nothing was brought or saved. Alright. Cattail's the star of the show, so I'm going to get some cattail fluff, roll it up. Now I can put my ember in that, and once that gets going, I'm pretty confident things will go well. Have my extra little piece of wood. That's going to be an ember catcher. That's going to improve my odds of success in the winter. I need this notch to go right to the near center of the hole, almost the center of the hole. So I want just a little bit more, but I don't want to go to the hole. I find that to be useful. So pretty close. Nothing wrong with making a little extra on the back end there. So we're pretty close to the center of the hole. And then, because I want to make this smooth inside too, so when the powder falls, it falls straight down, doesn't get caught up. So that's pretty close. Time to continue. I suppose this is the moment of truth. If this bowstring is going to last, I have to make the best fire set that I can when I use certain kind of cordage, because there's limiting factors. And the limiting factor, in my opinion, on this time is the bowstring. It could break on me. So I have to be gentle with it, and I want the ember first time. I don't want second tries. I want to get it the first try, because I don't know how many embers this bowstring has in it. Let's try it. I'm going to use the full length of the bow if I can. The ice socket reduces friction a lot. All right, stay cool. Keep your foot on the fireboard. Lift off carefully. Fan. I think I had it, but I lost it. That just means try again. Save that powder. Put it in the milkweed fluff, because we will get an ember. We're going to go until we get one, or the bowstring breaks. Well, I did what I had to do. I made another bowstring. Didn't want to have to do that, but that's what it took. This one's thicker. Let's see if we can make this happen. Double wrap it. All right. Eye socket broke. Make another one. Ember achieved. Got an ember with a cattail bowstring. It is possible. I had to make a second one, things bow drillers don't like to do, but well, it's thicker and it worked. I'm going to put the ember in the cattail because I don't want to have to do that again. I'll feel better when this ember is established. There we go. Some flames there. Time to finish what we started here. What ended up happening was I ran out of space, but the ember still is around, so I'm going to use it. I lit a big that twig bundle, and that went great, but I kept whatever ember was left, so I can show you the result. So it's the same ember. I'm interested in going with that cedar bark that we got. I had to collect some more, but that's okay. That's going to get it done. All right, the birch bark is lighting. We're going for broke. We're using it all. Twig bundle time. And this is where things happen. So I had to get a second bowstring. I had to get a second bundle because the space ran out, but I want you to see just how amazing the spruce branches burn up. This twig bundle is amazing. I'm getting out of the way. That's pretty intense. So here's the start of the show. The cattail bowstring. Cattail leaves, cattail stems.